Hello and welcome to day 5 of the Branding Challenge. Today, we're going to discuss how to hire a perfect designer who will understand your brand and really help you evoke the style and emotions that you want from your clients. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Yasmin, and I'm passionate about making your brand sparkle and really bringing out your personality. I've been working as a designer for about 5 years with large and small businesses, service-based as well as product-based. And my final fun fact, I often sing talk. That's what I call it. And it's where you're talking and then you just kind of talk in a song. I am not going to do it here, but I am told that I often do it, and sometimes I don't even realize it. So today, again, we're going to be discussing how to choose your designer. The perils of choosing the wrong one. I've heard it all. They will do everything you say, which is not a great thing. They won't talk back, so they won't even email you back. And worst case, they can take the money and run. The last one is very obvious, where you pay somebody a down payment and they never get back to you. They completely run off with your money. The one where they won't talk back or even email back, that's where they rarely email back when you ask for edits, or if you have a question, they simply ignore it, or they'll get back to you in 3 days, 5 weeks, whenever they have time, I guess. They have a really busy life. And the very first one, well, they'll do everything you say. This one sounds awesome, but honestly, it's one of the worst things a designer can do. If we don't ask you questions and understand your branding and your goals correctly, we will just give you exactly what you want. If you want a purple logo, we will give you a purple logo, and it might be completely wrong for the industry that you're in or completely off base for the target market, but we won't say anything. And if you find yourself in that sort of situation, always try and poke and prod and see if you can get anything out of them, any solutions or even tips or opinions. So hopefully this never happens to you and you never end up choosing the wrong designer. Here are a few tips for making the correct decision. Tip number 1 is to check out their portfolio. It depends on the type of designer you're looking for. So their portfolio could have very few items or a lot of items, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they are a good or bad designer. They could be starting out, or some high-end designers just have 2, 3, 4 items in their portfolio, whereas some bad designers might just be filling up their portfolio with 20 projects and they all look horrible. So really look at their portfolio. They actually have to have a portfolio for you to see. You should see some of the previous work. Even if it's a student, they should be able to show you what they've done previously so you can see where their skill level is. Number 2, talk to them and then talk again, and then maybe ask for another session. Before you begin to work with a designer, you have to really understand them and have them understand you. If they speak a completely different language, or you just don't jive with them on the phone or over Skype, over Uber conference, wherever it is that you guys are talking, if you don't jive, if you don't feel comfortable, then you have to either stop talking to them and find someone that you feel comfortable working with, or you can simply request another meeting and write down some more questions and then ask those questions in the second meeting. There should really be no reason why they would decline a second or third phone conversation. Tip number 3 is to stalk them online, of course. You'll want to see what they're posting and if it really pertains to design. And honestly, if you're a designer, it comes naturally. You'll eventually end up posting a lot more items on Pinterest that are about design than anything else. Or Twitter or Instagram. If they're online and they're posting random things they have nothing to do with design, you might want to consider not looking elsewhere, but really, again, talking to them and seeing if you can understand them a bit more. But like I said, if you're a designer, you oftentimes post designerly things, and you can also end up getting a sense of style or what they're into. And the last tip is that you get what you pay for. I'm not saying that inexpensive designers are bad or that high-end designers might be the best way to go. But just keep in mind that if you pay $20 for a logo, your logo will look like it was worth $20. Low price designers tend to be students or people who just really want to get in as many projects as they can to fill up a portfolio. This means that they can't spend as much time as you need on your branding and on really figuring out what visuals will work best to really appeal to your clients, and your ideal clients are what's going to make you money. A few questions you should ask your potential designers are: how long have they been in business? What type of clients do they typically work with? And if those clients are not similar to you, why are they looking to work with you? For example, when I first started out, I did a website for a handyman. That was not my ideal client, but it was a fun project and I didn't mind doing it at all. It was just starting out and you need the income. But my ideal client is different. So, depending on how they answer the question, is whether or not you should decide if they will really like working with you. Another question you might want to ask is: how involved will you be in the concept or ideation phase? This is the part where logos are created, sketches are done, and we at Robles Designs fully involve the client. So we send you anything from pencil sketches to a more finalized digital sketch and color concepts. We send you all of that. We don't just send you the final product. Do they have a client questionnaire? We have a questionnaire for branding, and we also have a questionnaire for our design clients. It's for us to get a better sense of where you are, and we've done it both ways, where we have done a questionnaire over the phone and we've done the questionnaire as a more of a survey where you fill it out online digitally. If they don't ask you the questions about your brand or really try to get to know you, how are they going to design something that will appeal to your ideal clients? Do you have any references? This is another great question, and although they might give you references that obviously show them in a great light, you still want to know if they have any references for their digital work or whatever it is that they are designing for you. And finally, why should I pick you? That question is really great because it will allow them to really state what they're good at and why you two are a good fit. And that's the end of the 5-day branding challenge. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you download the day 5 list of questions that you can ask your potential designer, and happy hunting for a designer.